a film or tell a story. And so when you say these years and the amount of people that I've met.
Every day, I share another story from the Golden Age and the moments that shaped an unforgettable era. If you'd like to keep these memories alive with me, hit subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it means a lot. Thank you for being here. Now let's begin. You've watched John Wick. You survived The Matrix, so you already know Keanu Reeves, the calm powerhouse who became a worldwide icon almost overnight. But fame didn't just bring him praise, it brought jealousy from all directions. Some actors started treating him like a threat, mocking his quiet style and fighting him behind the scenes for the same roles. Now at 61, Keanu has finally let the truth slip about 6 Hollywood heavyweights he could never forgive, and the names hit like a shockwave. Alec Baldwin stands at the top of that list, and Keanu has made it clear he will never stand beside him again. What makes this even wilder is that their tension didn't grow from jealousy or career competition. It came from something Keanu despises more than anything: public humiliation and reckless behavior that puts people at risk. Their conflict started quietly back in the late 1990s when both were rising in the industry, but Baldwin's fiery temper was already making producers sweat. Keanu, who built his whole reputation on calm, grounded energy, saw Baldwin as the total opposite of how an actor should carry himself. Everything snapped in 2003 during a private industry roundtable when Baldwin, irritated by a director's critique, suddenly exploded and pointed around the room. He yelled, "Some of you don't even deserve to be in this room." Then he locked eyes with Keanu, and that moment left a scar. For someone like Keanu, the insult wasn't about ego, it was about basic respect. Years later, Keanu gave a rare blunt comment in a Japanese interview saying, "Once someone shows you contempt, you don't forget it." Industry insiders instantly knew who he was talking about. As the years rolled on, Baldwin's scandals only got louder. Public arguments, legal problems, on-set outbursts, and eventually the tragic incident on the set of Rust. To Keanu, this wasn't random. This was a pattern. It only confirmed what he believed all along. Baldwin's impulses weren't just difficult, they were dangerous. One producer even shared that in 2011, Keanu quietly stated, "Chaos isn't talent. Chaos destroys talent." From that moment on, every attempt to put them together in a film collapsed because Keanu refused. No explanation, no discussion, nothing. They haven't spoken in more than 15 years. They don't greet each other at events, they don't stand in the same photo frame, and both make sure to keep distance whenever they end up in the same room. And then there's Shia LaBeouf, the actor who flipped Keanu's respect into straight disappointment. Keanu's frustration towards Shia didn't grow slowly. It hit instantly the moment Shia crossed a boundary Keanu considers sacred, keeping the set professional, not turning it into a spectacle. Their first spark of tension came in 2006 during studio workshops when Shia, already known for unpredictable stunts, cut off a discussion by joking that veteran actors were too stiff. Keanu, sitting close by, just stared at him, quiet and stunned. A producer later shared that Keanu whispered, "He confuses disruption with depth." That sentence marked the start of a cold, silent feud. But the real break happened in 2008 at a charity event. Shia arrived intoxicated, ranting loudly about fake Hollywood saints, then suddenly joked that Keanu was the most boring Zen robot I've ever met. People laughed, but it wasn't a comfortable laugh. It was the kind that comes when everyone senses danger. Keanu didn't join the laughter. He simply looked at Shia and told him, "Cruelty isn't honesty, it's insecurity." That line shut the room down and their relationship never recovered. Then Keanu turned and walked out, and everyone in the room knew the message was aimed straight at Shia. As years passed, Shia's arrests, wild confrontations, unpredictable performance art stunts, and non-stop clashes with directors only widened the gap between them. Keanu never saw it as rebellion. He saw it as someone refusing to take responsibility in an industry that demands discipline. When a major studio tried pitching them together for a project in 2014, Keanu reportedly declined within minutes, calmly saying, "Not a healthy environment." That tiny sentence was the closest he ever came to openly naming LaBeouf. No greetings, no bridges built, not even a polite nod at events or premieres. For Keanu, Shia is the one actor he refuses to let anywhere near his world. No exceptions. And then comes Jared Leto, the method actor whose extreme habits push Keanu way past patience. What happens when the quietest guy in Hollywood ends up next to someone who treats every role like a survival test? The answer stunned even people who thought they understood Keanu's limits. Leto is one of the rare actors who dragged him from silent discomfort into real frustration. Their tension didn't begin with a fight. It began the moment Keanu heard stories from crew members who had just survived one of Leto's method acting phases. Instead of discipline and teamwork, they described disturbing stunts, sending dead animals to co-stars, refusing to break character, demanding chaotic rewrites, and creating a set where everyone felt tense. Keanu understood instantly what that meant. He later said quietly, "You can't harm people in the name of art." That sentence marked the invisible line he decided never to cross. The breaking point came in a closed casting meeting in 2011 when a director suggested pairing the two in a psychological thriller. Before the idea was even fully spoken, a casting executive remembered Keanu letting out a sharp exhale and shaking his head. Then, in one of his rare, blunt moments, he said, "Chaos isn't a technique, it's a warning sign." The room froze. Nobody had to guess who he was talking about. Leto only kept escalating after that, hurting himself on sets, sending grotesque gifts to cast members, insisting that suffering was part of authenticity, and creating an atmosphere that felt more stressful than artistic. Keanu saw it differently. To him, Leto wasn't deep. He was dangerous. His style created fear, not trust, and Keanu refused to be part of that. By 2016, studios finally stopped trying to pair them. Keanu quietly turned down every attempt. Today, the two avoid each other completely. No chats, no polite nods, not even eye contact at award shows. To Keanu, Jared Leto represents one thing he will never tolerate in filmmaking: pain dressed up as creativity. Then there's Val Kilmer, the ego that crashed straight into Keanu's humility. Kilmer is the only person on Keanu Reeves' list whose intense reputation reached him long before they ever stood in the same room. Everyone warned Keanu, "Kilmer is talented, but he'll burn the room down to get what he wants." Yet Keanu didn't believe it until he saw it himself. And that moment turned his respect into something far heavier. Their tension started in the early 1990s when they were being considered for similar action and drama roles. Kilmer walked into auditions critiquing other actors loudly, brushing off their work like it meant nothing. At one point, Kilmer looked at Keanu's audition tape, scoffed, and said, "He's too simple. Acting requires fire, not stillness." That line hit Keanu hard, but he stayed quiet even as the resentment took root. Keanu never forgot that line, not because it cut deep, but because it showed him exactly who Kilmer really was. The real break came later at a studio dinner in 1995, when Kilmer snapped at a young cinematographer for not lighting him like a legend. Keanu tried to calm the situation, but Kilmer fired back with, "Don't play wise, monk with me." Keanu froze, not angry, just disappointed. He whispered, "You don't belittle people you depend on." That moment sealed everything for him. So when a major studio pitched a Keanu-Kilmer pairing in 2004, Keanu shut it down instantly. No debate, no explanation, just a firm no. Today, the two walk past each other at events without a word. Not drama, just cold, permanent distance. Then there was Shawn Young, the unpredictable force Keanu refused to stand near again. She's the only one he avoided, not out of anger, but sheer exhaustion. With the others, the tension felt philosophical. But with Shawn, it was pure survival energy. Their first clash came during a 1989 industry rehearsal when Shawn arrived late, slammed her script on the table, and started accusing the director of playing favorites. Keanu watched the whole room flip upside down in minutes, and that moment planted a quiet resentment that only grew darker through the years. The real impact hit in 1994 during a casting session where both were being considered for the same project. Shawn openly mocked another actress, then turned to Keanu and said, "This business loves quiet boys like you. They're easy to control." Keanu didn't argue. He just closed his notebook and walked out. Later that night, he told someone, "Cruelty disguised as confidence is still cruelty." It was one of the very few times he openly criticized another actor. Meanwhile, Shawn's public troubles kept escalating. Alcohol-related incidents, storming sets without permission, arguing with directors, accusing producers of conspiracies, and turning press events into pure chaos. Keanu saw the pattern clearly. Every project she touched came with a mess nobody wanted. So in 2006, when Keanu received a thriller script, he immediately said no after learning Shawn Young was being considered for a supporting role. A producer insisted, "She's cleaned up." But Keanu kept it simple and said, "I don't want people hurt again. No insults, No public jabs, just distance. Sharp, controlled distance. Shawn Young became the kind of storm Keanu learned to walk away from long before it even reached him. So what do you think? Were these rivalries justified, or do they expose a side of Hollywood most people never get to see? There was one more name Keanu kept quiet about for years, an actor whose smooth public persona hid a sharp behind-the-scenes bite. This wasn't jealousy, ego, or a clash of styles. This one was about trust. And for Keanu, trust is the one thing you don't break, ever. Their tension started in the early 2000s during a major action film workshop, when this actor walked in late, sunglasses on indoors, bragging about landing roles others weren't strong enough to handle. Keanu stayed silent, but he watched the crew roll their eyes and step back like they already knew what was coming. Later that day, during a stunt rehearsal, the actor ignored the coordinator's safety notes, rushed into a fight sequence, and nearly injured a stunt performer. Keanu stepped forward and reminded him, "People aren't props. Respect the team." The actor smirked like it was a joke, but Keanu wasn't smiling. The breaking point came 2 years later at a closed-door casting meeting. A producer suggested pairing them in a gritty crime drama, but another executive warned the room about the actor's on-set behavior and habit of treating crew like background furniture. Keanu didn't speak at first, then calmly said, "If he's on the call sheet, I'm out." The room went silent. Nobody argued. From that day on, Keanu kept his distance. No greetings at premieres, no polite small talk at industry dinners, not even a nod on red carpets. It wasn't hate, it was self-protection. Keanu refused to let chaos slide into his space, especially when people behind the camera could get hurt. By 2018, studios finally stopped trying to place them in the same projects. Insiders say Keanu didn't even need to reject offers anymore. Producers already knew the answer before his team spoke. Today, the two move around each other like opposite magnets, close enough to be in the same industry, but never close enough to collide. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you felt something real, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.